Do 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 do. I don't. I just lost my train of thought that I was about to say there. Good luck with that one. I enjoy having that perk on to where, or well, that like having that lunchbox ability to where when you shoot enemies enough, they just kind of explode. It's very entertaining. What? Acting like I said something weird. That's not weird. It's hilarious. Yeah, it is. Do 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 do. Stupid ass Scorched. Have you already looted the prison for scrap? Or for lead? God, I have ranked up so fast. Yeah, I'm just kind of running down the road and killing people as they come. damn, Star Wars Battlefront 2 has over 19 million players on it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they're still not going to give it any more support.
Yeah, because these fuckasses decided they wanted to put all of it into. Honestly, with how Battlefront has been doing, they could honestly drop Battlefield and make just as much money on Battlefront.
Yes, but DICE wouldn't let them drop Battlefield because it's still one of their largest incomes.
One of, but if honestly, I think what they should do is,
I prefer
um,
Battlefield stuff.
well, I'm just talking about Battlefront in general. What they ought to do is they should either re-release Battlefront 2 for like the next gen consoles and then just recontinue support after they're done with Battlefield 6, or spend time making a new and improved upon Battlefront 3, and then what you do with that is, like most games now, you have an in-game currency and then a pay currency, to where it's just like you have a shitload of skins for like Luke Skywalker and all of the clone troopers, and you just,
Less heroes and shit instead of just like a small variety of them.
yeah, and it's like you just have a bunch of skins, and it's like some of them will be like minor, like a Boba Fett skin to where it's just him and his old helmet, like him and his old armor with his helmet off, and then one with his helmet on. And then you have the Mandalorian skins, and then if you add in Jango Fett, you could just have one with his helmet off and one with it on. That way, it's just like, not. It's like you just, you're adding in more options for people, and it's just like it doesn't have to be like super big ones. Like, for Vader, it was like you could just put in like Episode 4 Vader, Episode 5, Episode 6, Revenge of the Sith, Clone Wars Vader, to where it's like he looks like he did in the Clone Wars, or Rebels, or Comics Vader. And then if you want to like go in depth, you could do battle damaged Vader. And in the comics, he's gotten fucked up at plenty of times, so they have plenty of references for like a battle damaged Vader. So they could just pull from the comics for a battle damaged Vader.
You know what else I'd like to see they add in?
Who? What? When? Where? Why?
Well, I mean, who was the right question?
Continue though.
Rex.
That would be cool.
I think it would be cool. Or Cody. Cody's cool too.
Yeah.
I think I prefer Rex.
Most people do prefer Rex. Honestly, I feel like if there's going to be any clone, that would be a hero. Because with clones, it's hard. Because there's so many of them. And it's like, it would be so hard to balance them out for heroes, which is probably why DICE decided not to do that. Because it's just like, you could have Wolf, Gregor, Rex, Cody, Fives, Echo, Heavy. It goes on. You could have so many clones as heroes, but at the same time, because the Separatists were mostly droids, you didn't really have that many similar kind of people. I do wish they would have added in more Clone Wars characters, like Ahsoka and Asajj, and maybe people like Pre Vizsla or Bo-Katan. I mean, the Clone Wars had a lot of fucking characters that they could. I mean, hell, even in the fucking 2005 Battlefront 2, you had Obi-Wan, Luke, Aayla Secura, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Mace Windu, Yoda. Can't remember if they had other Jedi, but they had multiple different types of Jedi. Most of those people we didn't even know fucking anything about it at that time.
You know what I'd like to see as well?
Huh.
Some of the Sith come back as heroes.
I don't even know if they have many of the Sith put back into canon yet.
I'd like to see Revan.
Dude, everyone wants to see Revan.
It's Revan. Can you blame us?
Nope, it's probably one of the... Well, actually, no. It might be likely now because they might be letting another company aside from BioWare make a Knights of the Old Republic game. Whereas, I mean, technically Star Wars The Old Republic is canon. And Revan is in Knights of the Old Republic. There's literally a fucking DLC called Shadow of Revan. But, I say technically because it is and it isn't at the same time. Star Wars The Old Republic is a weird entity. But, to actually see media outside of, like, don't get me wrong, the video games for Revan have been good, and so was the book, and the comics. But, it would be nice to see him on screen. Like, either animated, he was almost on screen one time in the Clone Wars, but they evidently cut it out.
Right then.
There's a lot of things in Clone Wars that was cut out that I wish wasn't cut out. And this was before Disney took over.
Yeah. Well,
Not
certainly didn't help.
No, that it didn't help either. Because, I mean, they were gonna go on with a bunch of more shit before Disney took over. Now, I am a little happy Disney took over because then we probably wouldn't have had the graphics update we did for the final season.
Yeah.
At least not for a while. But at the same time, there are certain arcs that I really wanted to see. Some we might see in the Bad Batch because that's basically the next Clone Wars, except it centers around the Bad Batch, but some of the Clone Wars arcs might be translated into that time period. On Friday, I'm gonna get, like, most of my hair chopped off. I think I've had long hair for long enough. It's been over a year since I've had a haircut. Almost over a year. The last time I got my hair cut is when I was still going to that community college, back in February before COVID-19 had it shut down.
I really hate hopefuls.
What are hopefuls?
Hopefuls have been a turn coin to the Brotherhood of Appalachia and the Brotherhood of Steel, period, for a long time. They're civilians clique in the area around them that believe that the Brotherhood can help them with all of their problems.
Ah.
They're fucking annoying. Because if someone even remotely identifies themselves as Brotherhood and goes and does something wrong to that civilian, the hopeful will start, like, spreading rumors that the Brotherhood isn't the good guys anymore. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Even if that person that did that shit wasn't actually Brotherhood. They just end up saying they were. Because hopefuls are so strong in their belief factor that they just kind of follow whatever is and not what it actually will be.
So they're regular people.
Yep.
Regular Americans.
It's annoying.
One thing I will say though is that I'm a little bit happy right now that things have finally calmed the fuck down. I mean, people are still whining about Biden winning. I honestly couldn't give a fuck, but I'm just happy that shit is finally calming down because people were getting so fired up for so long. That kind of made me laugh is that the Republicans were like crying wolf for voter fraud, and it's just like both sides do voter fraud. It might not be the president directly doing the voter fraud, but both sides have voter fraud. It's going to happen no matter what. That doesn't mean the person who's running for president is asking for people to do it or calling on people to do it. It just happens because people do it because they feel like that they either have an obligation to make sure their party wins or they just really don't want the people they like to win, or they hate the other person so much that they try to tilt it in their favor, or they have money at stake and they're paid by some other person. You know, it's not always the politicians running for office that are doing the voter fraud. But I mean, as proven in recent times, nobody's willing to actually pick up a book and read or look at actual fucking multiple sources. They just see one or two that they really, really trust and like, and they're like, yes, this is facts and nothing else. And it's just like, cool. You're fucking stupid. I don't know. People just don't think. They really don't. They think having one source for media coverage is enough for them to have all of the facts.
I'm sorry, I blanked out mid-conversation. What?
Wow, you fucking suck.
Hey, you did it to me.
Well, I don't care. This is me we're talking about, so that means it's worse.
Say what you said. I was
Well, how do I know you're not going to blank out again?
because I'm listening now and I'm not in a conversation with fucking hopeful.
Basically, what I said is people are fucking stupid because they only ever refer to one goddamn source for news and factual evidence about shit.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, and fucking... It's annoying that people will just listen to, like, CNN or Fox News, and then just... They think they know everything now because they watch CNN and Fox News, but they don't pay attention to any other, like, media source. And it's just like, facts are created through corroboration from multiple sources. If multiple sources, both liberal and non-liberal, are saying the same fucking thing, then if one non-liberal or liberal thing says another, I guarantee you that the one that is saying something different compared to the other, like, 20 different places that are saying that what happened was this way or that way, the one that's saying, no, it went this way, is probably wrong.
Oh, but then we come up with the situation of the Centennial Park bomber.
What happened with that one? I cannot remember what that is.
Innocent man was blamed by the FBI that he was the park bomber when he wasn't, and news outlets chose sensationalism over hard facts, and nearly 12 to I think 20 news outlets decided to say that he also was the Centennial Park bomber, and only one said he wasn't. But because that one was a trusted news source for ages, he was exonerated on live television that he was not the Centennial Park bomber, and therefore was able to sue the FBI as well as all the other news outlets. You can't trust a mass majority because most of the time they go with what gets
No, 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 no. I'm not talking about main news sources. I'm talking about smaller news sources, private news sources. I don't pay attention.
News sources you really can't fucking trust.
That's why I'm saying you have to follow multiple. If you don't follow multiple, then you don't know. And if you're looking at it, really it depends on if you hear everything on that first day basis. Because if you hear everything on the first day basis, that's where the most diversity in the news outlets are. Because they don't have all of the facts in yet, and they don't have everything in yet. So you'll see the ones that are patient and waiting for more, and then you'll also see the ones that are just throwing out whatever story they can get right now because of the ratings that they want. And then once you see the cooldown, and you see which ones stick to their story, which ones changed along with the actual factual evidence, those are the ones you can see as trusted. But also at the same time, it gets hard to tell which ones are actually good because of the whole fact that there are news outlets that will go and post a story purely for ratings. And I mean, that's always going to be a thing. But that's why you need to listen to pretty much everything. And, you know, I get that not everybody wants to listen to everything, but it's like, if you're gonna try and act like you know shit about anything, I don't want to fucking hear anything come out of your mouth until you have had your ear pressed to every, like, source of information that you know and can actually hold up a conversation without saying, well, this one very, very specific, I only listened to this. They said that this guy is gay, so I believe it. And it's just like it's like a situation to where I said, "What? You don't think Obi-Wan Kenobi is sexy? Am I gay? No, but he's still sexy. I can admit that." That's just the problem that social media has. It gives too much power to people who don't know anything. And that is the case. People don't know shit. They really don't. They act like they do and like to think that they do, but really they don't know anything, and they just start spewing a bunch of retarded nonsense that just pisses people off. And it's not something that's relegated to one side or another. It's like it's on both sides. Honestly, it's no worse. Like, no side is worse than the other. I think both sides, like conservative and non-conservative, are just like they're bad on their own accounts, and one is just as bad as the other in terms of how much bullshit and anger and hatred they spout out, you know. Because, you know, you'll get the feminazis going, and then they'll be posting all of their anti-male shit, and then you'll have like the super conservatives that post all of their pro-male shit, but rather than actually presenting a valid argument, the only thing they say is hippity-hoppity, women are property. And then that just makes the situation fucking worse. And that's not exactly what they say, but for a lot of the people that I've seen, that's pretty much what they say, because they'll say, like, go back into the kitchen, bitch, and it's just like, wow, that doesn't even help the fucking situation any bit, now does it? Why don't you go shut the fuck up? Because at that point, now you're just giving that fucking feminist more fucking ammunition. And then you're making it harder on everybody else that has to sit here and deal with this bullshit. But nobody fucking cares. If it doesn't affect them, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's the general aspect of that decision.
But seriously, it's like people people do not think before they speak. I mean, I don't think before I speak, but I only do that when it comes to, like, me just being an idiot when I want to say something funny. But when it comes to, like, important shit, nobody thinks before they open their goddamn mouth. That's partly why I didn't like Trump too much, is because he just said whatever was on his mind right then and there. Where when he's in the position that he's in, that's something you really should avoid doing. And it's just like, it's good to speak your mind on subjects that are controversial, but do it in a tasteful manner so that you're not disrespecting anybody, because at that point you're discrediting yourself. If you're... It's like, okay, if you get too emotional, then it gets 100% easier for you to be discredited, solely based off of the fact that people will say you are too connected to this and it's your own personal beliefs that are tainting your vision on what is factual. So I can understand why some people like to get or want to get emotional on certain subjects, but if you get too much emotion, or you put too much emotion into what you're trying to describe, you ultimately do the opposite of what you're trying to do, because then it makes people think that you're way too closely connected to this on a personal level, therefore you cannot make that divide between, I'm blanking on the word, objective and subjectivity. Because if you can't remain objective, and you can't, like, separate your vision from what is actual, like, reality and actual facts, then that does create a problem, because it's like, at that point you cannot be trusted, because you're letting your emotions get in the way of actually doing what needs to be done. I mean, I'm not saying that it's, like, horrible to do that, because, I mean, everybody does it at some point or another, but when it comes to, like, important stuff... What the fuck am I hearing in the background? But,
Loving on her. She's enjoying it.
all I heard was... Oh, I'm also doing Monanga for you.
Alright. Keep stopping. I keep not...
But, yeah, people just don't know how to pick the right time, right place. They just don't. God, I've been taking this place for almost an hour now. An hour, 10 minutes. What the fuck? My God, my brain really don't work. Gotta plug in. Mm. It's really interesting how certain games come back from the brink. Or at least they come back after a really, really horrid launch. And hello. But yeah, I find it interesting how nowadays there's a sort of norm for games to come out terrible and then get fixed over time.
I hate that.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I mean, with a game like Battlefront 2, that kind of a situation, it kind of leveled out because the game ended up turning into a really fucking good game, but I don't want that to become the norm. Like, okay, when you think about it, back to the days of like the PS2, before PS3 and Xbox 360, before all of that shit, people, or well, specifically game developers, they had to release their games completely polished and finished, period. No matter what. Because if you released the game, that was it. There was no patches, there was no, like, after game support. It was just you released the game and that was the game.
Yeah.
But because of the internet and because Wi-Fi exists, a lot of companies, mainly EA, has been doing that stupid fucking live support to where they'll half release a game and then complete it over time, which is fucking stupid. And they fucking sell it for full game price. It's just it's absolutely fucking retarded to me.
Oh yeah.
Fucking goddamn companies and their stupid ass money making schemes. Luckily, certain countries are really clamping down harder on video games. Now, most of those countries are, well, America isn't included in those countries because America is still run by a bunch of fucking crinkly ass old people, so they don't understand how big the video game industry has become, and they don't understand how much video games mean to people. So we have like no fucking regulations against video game companies trying to pull shit on people like that.
I can't see. Stinglings blind you and then they just endlessly attack. So annoying.
I mean, yes, stingwings are some of the most annoying pieces of shit in the fucking game. Well, I turned on Mananga for you. Turns out things are really easy when you have the Chinese stealth suit. Who would have thought?
Why do you think I want to get it?
Dude, I fucking tore through those ghouls like they were fucking nothing. I think 3 shots from my gun and I was taking out the ghouls, and they never fucking saw me, so I just kind of made my way through. I might as well clear out the yard. So what are your streaming schedules? Do you just try to stream for like the times when your girlfriend is able to see? Oh my god, Ryan. I said
I heard scream and my mind just stopped thinking. I was like, hold on.
what I was saying is Jesus fucking Christ. What I was saying is like, how do you set up your streaming schedule? Is it like based around the times when like your girlfriend can watch, or do you just kind of like do it closer to the evening just because you're awake at night?
I try to do this for the evening. Whoever watches at night is, they want to get on and watch, they can get on and watch.
Does your girlfriend watch much anymore?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, whenever she feels like it.
doesn't sound very supportive. No, I almost saved this guy! Oh, he's a raider, I don't care.
Well, you don't really care if anybody really watches you or not. I'm just there to scream if somebody watches. I guess.
Welcome.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
What?
How many fucking do I have to kill?
All of them.
The basement is filled with insects. It's annoying. Great. I swear, by the time I'm done with this, I'll have exterminated the entire thing population with that flashlight. Ow!
When did you say Fallout was going to be releasing another update?
It was supposed to be today, but they delayed it to the 28th.
Well, that's nice. Well, whenever you get bored of this game, should we hop over to Battlefront 2? Ryan?
Huh?
Jesus Christ, you're fucking blanking out worse than me.
I woke up not too long ago.
It's... Ooh! Get your fat ass back here, you dumbass bear. But, what I was saying is, whenever you get bored of... Dare you interrupt me, you motherfucker!
It exploded.
I hate you. But, as I was fucking saying, whenever you get bored of this game, do you want to fucking go over to Battlefront 2?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, fine, fuck you.
I said yeah, sure. I don't see you found the
Exactly, you fucking retard. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm about to kill a lot of people, I feel like.
Hey, Irish, is your agility above 8?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Why?
I can't remove the Scion focus.
Okay.
It requires 8+ agility.
I don't know how I'm gonna be able to help with that. Then why are you talking to me as if I can? Where are you?
Atlas substructure.
Oh, you're doing that one. What are the options you have? Because I know I didn't have agility at that time, and I still got it out. I just need to hear the options so I can remember which one it was that I chose.
Yeah, give me a sec. I gotta get to it first. Kind of walked away from it. Okay, here it is. Okay, there's tear the connections away with your hands and wrench out the device. Gently unhook each tube and wire from the device and empty it out, or cut the tubes and wires off and pry the device out.
Second.
That sounds obvious.
It is. That's why I chose it.
Go up. Next, the pressure gauge. Oh, I can do that easily. I have fucking strength 15. I will be fine. I can unscrew the screws with my hands through the rust and remove the gauge.
Yeah, I did that too.
Is that one behind a wall or something?
What? What?
I'm so confused.
I'll tell you.
This one says it's like behind a wall, but I can't get to it.
Yeah, it's like a computer thing. You just gotta walk around it. It's a weird path to get to it.
Oh, there it is.
Like I said, it's a weird path.
Lady, move away from the robot. I warned you. I'm getting my ass fucking murdered by something I can't even see. Or... It's a fucking robo-brain. I gotta reload. I haven't been able to reload because whatever it is just keeps fucking hitting me. Are they seriously just gonna keep throwing robots at me? Ow!
You seem like you're having a bit of an issue up there.
No fucking shit. They
Come here, Tazzy. Or you can lay on top of my guitar amp.
Yes, I have the fact finder.
There you go.
And it's level 45.
Hey, you're suddenly more retarded than you already were.
Irish,
Hmm?
what is your highest level of understanding of quantum physics and quantum mechanics?
Everything that we perceive as real is based off of things that are not real.
Okay.
I mean, that's the main thing I remember from the guy who discovered quantum physics. I haven't studied too much in quantum physics.
Do you know what quantum probability is and what it can do?
No. I had to think about that for a second.
Classical probability is
All I heard was cold probability. What?
classical
Classical?
probability. Yeah, it's what we generally perceive as standard probability.
Isn't that to where it's just, what I was talking about, or when I was...
This desired outcome.
Yeah, and isn't it like what I was talking about earlier with the news outlets, to where it's just like when a majority of things go into the favor of what you're wanting to go out, that's generally like what you prefer to be right? Or fucking...
Probability is what determines what happens. Let's say you drop an alkaline metal into water. Classical probability dictates it explodes.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Because all things quantum do not work like all things classical and have their own laws of physics, quantum probability says that the stone you're holding in your hand right now can spontaneously turn into diamond.
That'd be nice.
Well, that seems entirely unreal for you. Anything quantum can be manipulated to do whatever you wish it to do, with a small chance of it actually doing what you want it to do.
So it's basically a shot in the dark.
Series of random things. Okay, do you know what quantum layering is?
Isn't that when you're stacking a material, like, as close as the atoms can possibly be together?
Yes. If you were to manipulate quantum layering any way that could fuck it up, you have a chance of turning tungsten a floating metal. Or it could just explode in your hand.
Yeah.
Quantum probability is really fucky because quantum probability also dictates that there is a chance to create something from literal nothing.
which goes against the basics of physics and how atoms work, based off of the fact that you cannot create nothing, like something from nothing, because it has to come from somewhere.
When quantum probability creates something from nothing, it's usually stabilized by black holes sucking it in and it running into another item, destroying it. The ions and atoms themselves mix with the original object that it was replicated from, causing that object to assimilate, just become one object. Therefore, every time you create something, it's immediately neutralized.
So technically, it doesn't come from nothing.
Tech can come from nothing, but you have the ability to create a massive amount of something out of almost nothing.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we can never get around is that you just literally, it is impossible to create something from nothing, because the
Nothingness? Yes, it is literally impossible to do that.
because you need to get the atoms, the molecules, the energy, neutrons, protons, electrons. You need to get all of that from somewhere. You can't just make them.
Yeah, see, technically, every time you create something, you're actually just converting whatever was around it into the object you want it to be.
Well, yeah, it's because energy can never be actually destroyed. It just gets transformed.
Yeah, but this is such a high level of transformation, you can turn a cloud of oxygen into a solid nugget of gold.
That'd be nice. Too bad I don't have the technology for that, so I can't make myself rich.
Right?
And then I could just, buy my way through college, buy all of my A's and B's, do absolutely no work, and get a job and completely fail at it.
That atoms that don't have a single set quantity of electrodes, but have a single set quantity, not electrons,
I was about to say.
single set quantity of electrons, but they don't have a single quantity of neutrons, appear to occupy what is known as dark space.
Dark matter. Dark matter?
Because technically it's made up of actual matter. It's just they don't seem to be consistent with how many electrons they have.
Well, I mean, technically dark matter is still matter, it's just you can never keep an extensive amount of dark matter within our universe, because if dark matter...
Instantly canceled out by standard matter.
Yeah, which is why there's a theory that I kind of enjoy to think about, where it's just like, when the Big Bang happened, there was the matter and the antimatter, or dark matter, universes, to where, there is a complete copy-paste part of our universe that is riddled with antimatter, or dark matter, whichever you want to fucking call it. And there's our matter. Well, in that universe, it'll just be matter, where we would be the dark matter. But it's a theory that is actually kind of believable. And that would also kind of explain the multiverse theory that people have, but it would never be like, we'd never be able to see ourselves in the mirror universe that is the dark matter universe, simply because if we were to go in there, we'd blow apart like half of the Earth. With how much... I mean, we'd blow off a huge chunk of it because of how much matter we are. I mean, just a few grams is enough to blow a huge fucking crater.
Here's the worst thing about it. Even if one human were to enter a realm of pure antimatter, because they are solely made of matter, they could cause the destruction of the entire solar system in that universe.
Yeeta McGeety.
Because when antimatter and matter collide, if there is a significantly fewer portion of standard matter, the atoms of the standard matter down to their finest point, causing a rupture in nuclear diffusion to the greatest scale of every atom that is in that matter. So basically the universe's largest nuclear explosion. See the problem?
Yeah.
A human contains enough atoms to blow the entire solar system apart if you were to split every single atom. Imagine what would happen if you tried to move the Earth into an antimatter world. That's why I genuinely don't look at that theory with any promising aspect of being able to ever observe that world. You know?
Yeah.
But another thing quantum probability predicts is separate instances of a timeline.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know how Star Wars The Old Republic there's different instances? Well, you're in one, in the exact same spot I'm standing in, we still don't see each other because we're in different instances.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, I know.
To explain that to Daniel last night. Quantum layering and quantum probability can easily mix together if we had the technology to create what is known as slip space travel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is.
Oh yeah, I've had to look through so many different types of space travel that I want to try and use for my book, so yeah.
It is currently, to our science fiction days, the most effective and fastest way of fast flight travel.
Yeah, because which it would be hard because right now we don't know how to miniaturize the tech of being able to basically create your own wormhole, go through it stably, and then come out the other side.
Because while the outside, the exterior of the object creates the wormhole and travels at speeds beyond light, the inside, the interior, only really ever moves at, what, 30 miles an hour? Which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily that you're moving faster than the speed of light. It's like you're taking the space around you, and it's kind of. It's like if you take it's like if you cut a hole on one side of a piece of paper and a hole on the other side. Yeah, and you fold it. That's basically what it is. And you're not really traveling faster than the speed of light. You're just manipulating the space and time around you to be able to get to a point faster. Which is basically as close to teleportation as we'll ever get.
Well, teleportation is still something that would never, ever happen.
I mean, I will never say nothing can never happen. Other than...
I will say for certainty that teleportation will never happen.
Unless I get, like, definitive... if humans can't discover it in, like, the next... science is complicated enough, and the only thing I will say that can never happen is something cannot come from nothing. That is the only thing that definitively cannot happen.
Yeah.
But everything else is, even, like, theories and shit like that, all of that is still within the realm of a certain type of possibility. Transmaterial teleportation is probably unlikely, but warp space teleportation is probably what will logically end up happening if we ever do create a teleportation to begin with.
If we create teleportation or come up with the sciences for teleportation, even without fully being able to create the technology, within my lifespan, then I will believe it can happen.
Yeah, and...
Until the day that happens, I will continue to believe that with certainty teleportation is something that will never happen.
Yeah, for me, like I said, it depends on if it's transmaterial teleportation or warp space teleportation, because those are two very different things. Because warp space teleportation is feasible in a way. We already have theories for what a warp drive would need, and while we can't make that right now because no resources and no easy way to attain antimatter or create nuclear fusion. We cannot we cannot create enough power to actually support a drive of that kind of magnitude. But
Theoretically, we could harvest antimatter if we were capable of enclosing a black hole.
in theory, but we are not near any black holes right now.
Well, actually, technically we are.
None that are actually feasibly close, Ryan.
There's one called S Omega 18 that's literally just outside of our solar system, but it's not.
Like I said, it is not feasibly close. Anything past Mars is not feasibly close for us right now.
Yeah.
And even still, that black hole is drifting away from our solar system.
Yeah, it is. Slowly.
It's like the moon. The moon is slowly being pulled out of Earth's orbit.
Yep. I had someone tried to tell me that there was a secret facility on the moon.
I mean, I can believe it.
Yeah, but like, they were trying to tell me it was on the right, you know, the one that faces us. So it's all like,
I feel like there's well, I guess I can't really say unnecessary. I guess it does kind of make sense. But a lot of people don't know what a tidally locked entity is.
no, they don't.
And I mean, really, it's a simple thing to grasp a hold of. It is an object that is stuck through gravitational forces to look one direction while the other faces another.
Oh hey, fun fact. Forgot to mention this. Quantum probability also dictates that you can move light as if it were a solid matter, and solid matter as if it were a liquid.
Don't we already have the solid matter as if it was a liquid part?
No. Like solid matter. Matter like diamonds.
Oh.
Here's the fun fact about quantum probability. Because it is purely the manipulation of what could be and not what is, there is the ideal that light behaves in particles and not waves. Whereas all recent studies within the past 200 years has basically said that light moves as waves, quantum probability dipped its middle finger into that equation and fucked everything over. Now we believe that light can and will move in particles if manipulated to do so. As well as the fact that if manipulated properly, some layering, you can turn any supremely solid object into a liquid of some form. Even if it does not have a standard liquefied state. This is generally unique because the manipulation of light as a particle can give way to what is known in most video games as active camouflage. Imagine being able to change your color on the dime, on the spot, blend yourself in with the surroundings so perfectly nothing can see you. And nothing, no heat reflects off of you because you're not absorbing any light. You're just gone. Right then and there. In that instance. Nothing knows you exist except for you. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
That is the manipulation of light as a particle. Now imagine being able to go through a wall as if it were jelly. But coming outside the other side of the wall would remain intact and would still protect you from, let's say, a tank shell. Which makes no sense. You just walk through it, right?
Yeah.
That's the manipulation as a liquid, as a wave.
Imagine making that into a waterbed.
What do you sleep on, Steve? Everybody can do nothing.
The amount of confusion you can make.
Quantum probability is very, very unique. It gains the ability to concentrate light to a form of endless source, like making a miniature sun. It quantifies to break objects with the flick of your finger just by having them themselves. If we were somehow to be able to put quantum probability into military technology, it would change the scale of wars and possibly destroy our planet in the process.
Yeah, let's never do that. God knows how fucking stupid we are. We'd be dumb enough to test out a fucking 2 kiloton antimatter bomb on ourselves. Let's test it out on an island. There goes the Earth. There goes the solar system, and the next 3 to the side.
That would be more like there goes Or we'd be stupid enough to concentrate a light source of our own and try to blast it into an island to test it, which would incinerate most of the Earth's surface.
Hey mom, watch me dig a hole to China.
It'd be Judgment Day from the Terminator. Man. Yeah, humans are fucking stupid. We'd be dumb enough to test it on our own planet.
Oh, I know.
Alone in our own solar system. Even if we were smart enough not to test it on our planet, we'd still test it in our solar system, which could still have catastrophic events for the Earth itself. And there is a reason that I do not want to really know all that much about what we can actually do with technology. You know what's sad, Irish?
My life.
The entirety of last night, I spent the longest time trying to find someone I could converse with on this exact topic. My smartest friend, my friend for 10 years, who is currently still spending nearly fucking like 4 to 5 years in college, as it is right now, did not understand what I was saying. And I was telling my other friend that I was like, you know what, I might just have to go to Irish. And they're like, Irish? Oh, that's his nickname. And I came to you, and lo and behold, someone I can have a conversation with.
Like I said, I know a little bit about everything, so I can talk about literally anything, because I'm able to keep up with conversations because I learn as I go.
It's sad to me, because I spent some time in college, some time in college, and I didn't even study under quantum physics. I know quantum physics.
Jazzy!
The concept of them may be strange to most people, but they're actually based around simple mathematics.
Well, I mean, all science is based around math.
This is like simplified form, like P asterisk divided by A is the equivalent of XF.
I guarantee you most people don't even know what the fuck that means. Wait, what?
Well, I can guarantee you do, and it's fucking pretty simple.
What's an asterisk?
Divided by the association.
What's an asterisk?
Higher power. Have you ever seen 2 by the power of 2? It's the product of a number powered by a higher power is divided by the association that is equivalent to the factor of the algebraic question for x with the factorization of fractions and decimals. It's so fucking simple.
Once you actually know what it means.
Yeah. Of course, the association could mean anything. It just generally depends on what you're trying to divide by.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to talk to my mom's boyfriend at all, so I don't actually know how smart he is, or if he'd be able to keep up with conversations like these. I'm sure he's smart. I'm sure he's plenty smart. Smarter than most people here. I just can't find anyone to basis to keep up with me in this damn state. You know?
I don't know if he's smart. He did start dating your mom. Come on. It was there. I guess the same could be said about my dad.
Yeah.
Fucking dumbass.
Said about my own dad, too.
Yeah, fucking retard.
What, you want to, like, debate that or something?
No, I just...
Get that to tea, it's not smart.
He was a Marine.
Yeah, he was a Marine.
Army's worse, though.
Oh, I know Army's worse.
Dude, I remember reading, about how there was an incident where a fucking... two army tanks. No, not two. An army tank shot another tank twice.
Another... Allied tank. Twice?
In a training exercise. Yes, twice.
What kind of shells? Were they dud fires or were they legitimate shells?
I think they were... I don't remember, but I just know that they were in M1 Abrams, and and the one tank shot the other one twice.
I hope they were dud fires. It is a training exercise, unless it was a live fire training exercise. You know.
I mean, it wouldn't have destroyed the tank, but it just really would have rattled the crew.
Yeah, but you. Between your allied tank and your enemy tank.
When there's not an enemy tank around.
So you. I think for the fun of it, I guess.
But yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Go Army.
Go on, I guess. What the fuck?
There's plenty of smart people in the military, but plenty of retards.
There's plenty of smart people in the military, but they certainly do not occupy the army.
Mostly the Navy and the Air Force.
Mostly the Navy and the Air Force, yes. Of course, the Air Force is a little lazy.
Duh. Fuck.
One of the only people who do stuff is the Marines, and they're a branch of the Navy.
Yeah. Most of the Navy SEALs are Marines.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2 transition?